Welcome to the Randy Report. I'm Randy Slovacek, your host. I'm also the writer and editor of therandyreport.com, where you can find me every single day on the internet reporting on the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. In this week's headlines, U.S. skier Jake Adicoff has made queer history at the 2026 Paralympic Games in Italy. Lawmakers in Florida have passed a law giving the governor the power to remove local officials if they promote LGBTQ events. The new reality series, Stripped Down, takes viewers behind the scenes of male erotic dancers at the world-famous Johnson's in Wilton Manors. All that and more in this episode of The Randy Report. Let's start with some good news. U.S. skier Jake Adicoff made history at the 2026 Paralympic Games this week after winning the gold medal in the 1.5-kilometer cross-country sprint. Not only was that his first individual Paralympics gold medal, but the win also made him the first out-gay male Paralympian ever to win gold as an individual. Guided by Peter Walter, Adicoff delivered a strong victory on Tuesday over his closest rival, China's Shuang Yu. The 30-year-old scored his second individual gold medal in the 10-kilometer cross-country race guided by Reed Goebel. Adicoff is completely blind in one eye and has significantly reduced field of vision in the other. His vision impairment is a result of his mother contracting chickenpox during her pregnancy. To compensate and gain a complete view of the race course while navigating at high speeds, Adicoff uses a side-to-side head motion to piece together his surroundings, while Walter acts as Adicoff's eyes on the course. The two first teamed up as paraskier and guide in the fall of 2024. Adicoff scored his first gold medal as part of the U.S. mixed relay team at the Beijing 2022 Games. Now a four-time Paralympian, Adicoff is looking for a relay repeat on Saturday and will compete in the 20-kilometer race on Sunday. He's already won silver medals in the 10-kilometer and 20-kilometer races at previous Paralympic Games. Prior to these games, Adicoff told Outsports, quote, "Going to the Paralympics, being a gay athlete there, showing that it's possible to reach this upper echelon of sport as an out athlete and as a para-athlete, that's super important to me," end quote. Adicoff is one of 5 out LGBTQ athletes competing at the 2026 Paralympic Games, which also include wheelchair curler Joe Butterfield, snowboarder Jackie Hamway, and alpine skiers Mikey O'Hearn and Haley Griffin. Earlier this week, the Florida State Legislature approved Senate Bill 1134, which will prohibit all local authorities from promoting or adopting initiatives concerning diversity, equity, and inclusion, like pride events, and prevents any recipients of municipal contracts or grants from doing likewise. The legislation also gives the governor unilateral power to remove any elected local official if they promote LGBTQ-related activities. Because the language of the bill is vague by design, it creates a chilling effect where local leaders may preemptively cut all ties to the LGBTQ community to avoid the risk of executive suspension. Here's how SB 1134 is expected to impact the LGBTQ community. First, local governments are barred from using city resources, funding, or official delegations for pride parades and festivals. This includes providing water trucks, staff time, or co-sponsorships, which may lead to the cancellation of many events due to high costs. The bill also prohibits funding for contractors, vendors, or volunteers who study or are instructed using materials referencing gender identity or sexual orientation. This could jeopardize the operations of LGBTQ community health centers, hospitals, and nonprofit services that receive city grants. Also, Cities may be forced to remove pride flags from government property, stop issuing Pride Month proclamations, and refrain from posting about LGBTQ events on official social media or websites. The new law also targets symbolic support, such as rainbow crosswalks seen in South Florida and near the Pulse nightclub memorial. Officials who fight to preserve these symbols risk being removed from office. Governor Ron DeSantis is, of course, expected to sign the bill into law, which would go into effect January 1st, 2027. The bill is likely to face court challenges, but the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals and Florida's own Supreme Court have both been among the most hostile courts towards LGBTQ people. A civil rights group says anti-gay slurs and other homophobic actions, including the benching of players perceived to be gay, are on the rise at an alarming rate in Massachusetts high school hockey, in the wake of the popularity of the HBO Max TV series Heated Rivalry. Who saw this coming? As most are aware today, Heated Rivalry follows the lives of two gay pro hockey players who fall in love and a third who falls in love with a barista. It's not a surprise that it's penetrated the ranks of high school hockey, but not in a good way in this case. Lawyers for Civil Rights Boston sent a letter to the state's Attorney General demanding action, including penalties, to combat the rise in homophobia and bullying in high school hockey players and coaches. The letter reads, quote, "In recent weeks, we have observed a noticeable spike, particularly in reports of bullying and harassment within school-affiliated hockey programs, especially conduct that targets students who are gay or perceived to be gay." End quote. The legal group also accuses the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, which governs high school sports in the state, of dragging its feet on taking any action. Folks, the fact that this is a problem in Massachusetts high schools says a lot about the failure of leadership of parents, administrators, and most importantly, coaches, to put a stop to such language and abuse. Homophobia has long been a problem in hockey, especially at the lower levels of the sport, like high school or college. The National Hockey League is the only major professional men's team sport that has never had an out player, current or retired. What to watch? Out TV has premiered its new reality docuseries titled Stripped Down, which promises to take viewers behind the scenes of the lives of 6 of the most in-demand male strippers in the second gayest city in America, Wilton Manors, Florida. Matt Cullen, the content creator and showrunner of the acclaimed LGBTQ digital series Our Queer Life, brings his signature authentic storytelling to the high-energy, raw world of gay strip clubs. The official series synopsis reads, "Stripped Down is an unapologetically raw and entertaining reality docuseries that peels back the curtain on the lives of 6 gay strippers navigating the vibrant nightlife of Wilton Manors, Florida. By day, they're roommates grappling with personal ambitions, complex relationships, and hidden struggles. By night, they're performers who take the stage to captivate audiences and earn a living in the high-energy, no-holds-barred world of gay strip clubs." As many of you know, Wilton Manors is home to a robust nightlife scene with dance clubs, leather bars, plenty of drag destinations, and the infamous male burlesque club, Johnson's. Stripped Down seems to have been inspired by one of Cullen's past projects, a short documentary titled Bisexual Stripper, built around an interview with the male erotic dancer known as Crush Daddy, a South African-born former Division I basketball player who built a career after sport in stripping and adult content while overcoming past struggles with addiction. One of the most popular videos on Cullen's YouTube channel, with over 476,000 views, that conversation opened the door for him to delve even deeper into the town's impressive strip scene. So he called up Crush Daddy and assembled 5 more of his peers under one roof and let the camera roll as the magic unfolded. Also in the cast are Silas, who's relocated from New York to South Florida to continue his go-go dancing career, Jax, also known as Thomas Shute, who adds a reflective dimension blending performance with his personal philosophy drawn from his published book, The Inner Guide. Tarzan, a master pole dancer and the outspoken character in the group. Damien, who combines fire eating, aerial performance, and burlesque while questioning where his career is headed in the long term. And Ellie Lay, a Cuban-born singer and performer based in South Florida. Each episode explores the cast's personal journeys, from chasing fame and financial stability to navigating relationships, past trauma, and acceptance in their identities. Through rising tensions and personality clashes, hello, this is reality TV, the docuseries serves up reality drama alongside moments of vulnerability. If this sounds familiar, longtime listeners of The Randy Report will recall that back in 2019, acclaimed filmmaker Gerald McCullough released his documentary film, All Male, All Nude Johnsons, which explored similar territory when the club had just opened in Florida. I've only been able to watch one episode thus far, but it's lighthearted fare, which comes in handy these days when the world can be heavy. And it's interesting to see the different types of men who find success in the world of erotic dancing. Stripped Down is available to stream on OutTVGlobal.com or on OutTV through Amazon Prime Video for a small add-on fee. And that brings me to the end of this episode of The Randy Report. If you enjoy catching up on LGBTQ news in a quick podcast, I'd appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends. I like to think of The Randy Report as the 60 minutes of gay news, only shorter. And remember, you can find me every single day on the internet at therandyreport.com, where I cover the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. Thanks for listening, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.